In about 30 days, I'll be turning 30, and I want to record a video on the 7 regrets of my 20s. And for context, I'm super blessed. I obviously have millions of dollars, really great company, great social life, but here's still 7 things I would do and I would change if I had to do it all over again. So the first thing is I would have dropped out of college much sooner. College, the real value for me at least, was number one, I was really awkward and shy growing up, and this helped me come into my own, really work on my social life, meet new people, and just really put myself out there. So that was tremendously valuable. The second thing is I learned how to work hard. I really didn't learn anything that valuable. Like nothing I really learned in my applied dietetics nutrition degree helped me start a sales recruiting business, which is what I have now. But at the same time, I learned how to work hard. So those were really the 2 things I got from it. But was that worth spending, whatever, $150,000 or $200,000 a year and spending all of that time studying stuff I really had no interest in? No. What I would have done if I had to do all over again is I still would have moved into my college town and I still would have gotten the bartending job that I have because that was an amazing job to really help me with my social life. What I would have done instead is strictly just went on a really strict regimen of studying business books and learning all of those types of topics, and maybe taking a few independent classes here or there to learn stuff like physics or math or really important sciences that you should know really as early as you can in your life, and essentially just started some sort of side hustle or side business while really working on my social life and doing my bartending job and saving money. If I had to do all over again, 100%, I wouldn't have went to college. I would have done that instead. The second thing is I wish I would have invested more in my social life in my 20s and especially earlier 20s. So, when I was in college, I was a 4.0 student. So I was extremely just driven on just getting the best grades possible and doing all of this stuff. And really when I look back, I kind of look at those years and I think, what did those 4.0s really do for me aside from allowing me to work hard? So if I had to do all over again, what I would do is I would loosen up a little bit and I would take that time between 18 to about 24 is when it was to, for lack of a better word, just party as hard as absolutely possible. And I think I would have really just invested into my social life and really invested into, meeting new people and social skills and my dating, all of this stuff, because later in life, especially when you start a business, you get so much more busy that a lot of that stuff falls by the wayside and you kind of tend to miss it and regret it a little bit. So that's the second thing I would change. The third thing I would change is not getting business partners much sooner. So for instance, I think what's really, really key in business is not doing it alone. Okay, and actually finding partners where you can kind of divide and conquer the key things of your company. And this does not mean, it could mean being 50-50 partners with somebody or 30-30-30 partners with somebody. But in my case, it really was not that at all. It could be just, you still being the main person, but giving multiple people a small piece of what you're doing. And I think when you just have other people to depend on, you have other people who are really invested into what you're doing for the long term, it makes business tremendously easier. And if they're the right people, it makes it tremendously more fun. So if I had to start another business after the current business I have, there's no way I would ever do it without partners. And I wish I would have known that a little bit earlier. I just had such a hoarding mentality to where I couldn't give everything away. Everything had to be all of me. I was very, very scarcity mindset opposed to abundance mindset. So that's something I would have changed for sure. The next thing is I would have been more materialistic, which might sound a little bit counterintuitive. So for me, when I was growing up, we were super frugal about money. And then at the same time, when I started making money, I really never spent any of it. And I really never enjoyed any of it. And instead, I just doubled down and worked harder and harder and harder and harder. And while I'm not suggesting that I would have pendulum swinged, that, my first couple $100,000, bought in a Ferrari and, gotten a mansion or any of that stuff, but I really wish I would have gotten a nicer apartment a little bit quicker, gotten a nicer car a little bit faster, went on more trips, have more experiences, because at a certain point, and what I've really learned now after doing this for several years, is you have to balance grinding super hard with actually being able to enjoy your profit, right? You should still invest and do all of those things, but really making an effort to spend and enjoy the things you have right now. Another big thing that I wish I would have spent my money on is just nice clothes. Like for instance, this is kind of embarrassing. I'm being a little bit facetious here, but I almost didn't even know how to dress myself, I feel like, until like about a year ago. I had no style, my clothes totally sucked. And here I am, this guy who's extremely wealthy, who looks like a freaking bum and lives in an apartment that's way below his means. And I can tell you for sure that while materialistic things aren't gonna make you totally happy, they do help you up to a certain threshold. And my big thing with this is that I think the things that are materialistic that are very good are essentially things that you're going to experience and be a part of every day. Most likely, you're going to drive your car every single day. You're going to wake up in your apartment, in your bed every day. You should have a nice apartment and you should have a really comfortable bed. You're going to wear clothes every single day. So you should wear clothes that make you feel good, right? In your apartment, you should have a view that is really, really beautiful because you're going to see that view every day. So I think those things are much, much better than things that are just like one-offs. Like for me, the difference between flying private versus flying first class just doesn't really do it for me. It's a one-off experience. You have an initial little high, then it goes away. So I think it either needs to be a long-lasting experience, or if it is something like traveling or whatever, it needs to give you a story or an experience that you can really add to your arsenal and have for a lifetime. Yo guys, hope you're enjoying the video. If you want to learn more about how you can use the skills that I'm talking about in this video, so the skills of persuasion, the skills of sales to get a remote career to where you could make $10, $20, $30,000 a month, if not more, working from anywhere in the world, simply just with your laptop and an iPhone, there is a book a call link below. It should say book with the Remote Closing Academy. Book a call link below. You can go ahead and check that out, speak with somebody on my team and see if we can help you. Now back to the video. And so the next thing is I want to have more trips and more experiences. So it's very, very strange. I don't know why I've really yet to even do this now. But you know, after having a tremendous amount of success and making a ton of money, I really have not done much to enjoy it. And I really have not traveled or had experiences or done fun things. I've just kept doubling down and doubling down and doubling down on my company. And it's not like I'm not going to get less focused on what I'm doing, but it's totally possible for me to go somewhere like Europe or France or Portugal or these places that I want to see, or South America, and still work and get a tremendous amount of stuff done and also gain that experience in life in the process. And I've started doing that a little bit more this year. And what I've really realized is there's two types of renewal, right? So in terms of preventing burnout, okay, you sort of need to like renew your energy. And there's obviously physical renewal, which is like taking time off, laying in bed, just chilling, right? Like having a self-recovery Sunday, that type of stuff. But then the other type of renewal is something called spiritual renewal. And that's something where you get from hanging out with friends, having an amazing experience, and really just, you know, getting involved in activity or with people that allow you to be fully in the present moment and have tons of fun. And sometimes, even after a trip like that to where I'm exhausted physically, I come back so spiritually renewed because I just spent 2 days having an immense amount of fun, having great experiences, and really being present in the moment. So really in the future, in my 30s, and also what I wish I would have done in my 20s, is done more of that travel. Because if you do it right, it's not even that expensive. You're getting amazing experiences and stories you're gonna have for a lifetime, and it's spiritually renewing. And the next thing is not losing weight earlier. So just this year, have went from about 206 pounds to right now I weighed in today at 170. I'm gonna lose about 4 or 5 more pounds before I'm gonna stop. But I mean, I lost a tremendous amount of weight. I mean, what is that, about 36, 38 pounds? And I feel so much better. I feel better about myself. I have more confidence. I have a better body image. And the most frustrating thing about this is that, you know, I was that weight for all of my life. And to be candid, I overestimated how easy it was gonna be. Like I just thought that, you know, oh, losing this weight, it's gonna be hard. I'm gonna be so deprived. I'm gonna do all this cardio. And truth is, it was actually very easy. And through that entire 40-pound journey, I really have never felt deprived one time. I've never lost any strength. I didn't lose any muscle. And I really was still able to eat whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted. All I did was I weighed myself every day and I set a projection to lose a pound a week. So that was the only 2 rules. Lose a pound a week, weigh yourself every day, and basically eat whatever you want. The key is just maintaining that calorie deficit and then eating in such a way to where you're always going to go to bed satiated. That was very, very key for me. I would fast until about 2, 3 p.m., have a small amount of protein, have a big feast for dinner, and then have dessert every single night, and then just make sure I hit my calorie target. And I found that I went to bed satisfied every single day. And then on top of that, I was in a deficit, so I was constantly losing weight as well. The final thing I would change if I could go back is investing sooner. So it's interesting with investing. It's like a muscle that you have to build. And of course, I would have continued to invest in myself, but what I'm really talking about here is I would have invested more frequently in stocks and real estate. Because the problem is when I really didn't do any investing at all. And then when I came into money, I had it so fast to where I made so many emotional decisions and so many emotional mistakes that I would have avoided if I had created a better investing strategy when I was much younger. So for instance, right now my investing strategy is essentially about 10 to 15% alternative investments, about 15 to 20% cash, and then the rest is split evenly between real estate and between stocks. So what I wish I would have done when I was younger is found some really low cost barrier to entry funds in real estate to invest into. So I could start learning what deals look like and like what good real estate investments look like. I wish I would have been always dollar cost averaging in the S&P 500, keeping up a cash reserve that I'm using to invest in myself or take advantage of opportunities. And then here and there, doing my crypto thing or doing an alternative investment or something like that. But really, would I have made that much money if I started investing that strategy when I was 20, 21, 22? Not really, it'd be very insignificant. But what I would have had is the muscle and sort of the plan to where when I came into money, I would have known what to do with it and how to deploy it more effectively, which would have saved me a tremendous amount of money in the long run. So hope you found this helpful. That's it for this video, guys. There's another video on the channel you can check out if you would like to. I'll see you later.